Alright, so we're going to be putting these 66 collection mirrors on the Nightster. Wanted to make a video just because I don't see a whole lot of mod videos for the Nightster. I also just wanted to talk about the reason why we're doing it, so we'll cover it throughout the video. But basically, we're trying to reduce or minimize the clearance from the end of the handlebar. These are really cool stylistically, and I actually really love the look of the bike stock. However, there is a 4-inch gap or clearance area from the bar end to the edge of the mirror. 4 inches on both sides means you're looking at about 8 inches of clearance. It just makes splitting a little bit harder, something you got to be more mindful of. So these mirrors, in theory, should solve that issue. And they will, right? If you see here, they're not sticking out past the bar end. They're going to mount in the center frame here. So we'll take a look and see how this goes. It should be a pretty straightforward install. It's not necessarily plug and play. There is a little bit of work, but it's not super complicated. Okay, so we have our stuff laid out. There is a right side and a left side, even for like the hardware. And from the looks of it, you are basically taking these clamps off from near the brakes and clamping the mirrors to those. I'm curious to see if that's enough clearance. Looks like it should be, so we'll see. So I matched this up. It's looking like it's T30. We're gonna get those clamps off, and I'll let you guys know if the brake lever needs to be held, like if it's gonna come loose. Okay, really quickly, I started loosening up this lever, and it does indeed come loose. It's just how you would change the positioning of the brake lever. So just be mindful, especially if, well, this is obviously the clutch lever, but just be mindful, especially if you like the placement of where everything is already. Okay, so I got the bolts back through. This is the new front clamp. You could see here that it has the mirror hole for these new mirrors. I'm going to leave it kind of loose just so I could figure out placement later, but more or less you want to tighten this to the torque spec listed in the instructions, which I don't have right now off the top of my head, but we'll find that out in just a moment when we get ready to tighten it all the way. Okay, so I got the first one on, left side, pretty straightforward. Just put the clamp on first, and then kind of put the mirror on, just spun it, and then you have this little adjuster here. I'm not sure if you can see that because I know this is a pretty wide shot. So you have this adjuster here, and you could tighten or loosen it to give yourself more clearance here. I want to say you are supposed to tighten that with a wrench, so. Okay, so we solved our problem. This left one is threaded the opposite way, and I'll go ahead and show you how we'll put this on the bike since now there's not as much noise, but the brake lever is kind of just leaning, and I'll just screw this one till it bites. So these bolts are normal. The mirror post is what's threaded the opposite way. Cool, let's tighten it up. Okay, that top's pretty tight. And that bottom's pretty tight. Okay. So now, let's get this mirror. And typically, here, let's see if you can even see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. So typically, you do like a righty-tighty thing, but you're gonna go the opposite way on this one. And it already bit, I could feel it. So you can see the mirror's not going anywhere. Still hold on to it, obviously. You don't want it to drop and shatter. So okay, so it's tight now, but this is obviously going the wrong way. So what you do is you back it up to where you want, and then you lower this guy. And we're gonna have to tighten this with the wrench. We'll see what size that is, but that's pretty much it. They're on. Okay, so the mirrors are on. We just have to take the stock mirrors off and then put the bar end cap on. So this is the bar end cap that you need, and Harley gives you the part number on the website just so that there's not a hole after you take those off. And then this is what the bar end caps are for. If you don't care about that look, I'd say you're fine, but I went ahead and just ordered the part because the website recommended it. So let's put those on. Okay, ran into a bit of a roadblock. So this is still just the bar as it was, and I have the bar end cap that I purchased. This very clearly does not sit there, but if you look closely, that is another Torx bit head. I guess that's what's going to take this little piece off here. I do not have that size, so we're just going to call it here, but these are the mirrors installed here. I think it cleans up the bike, gives you that clearance. We'll see how it looks with the moto videos in a future video, but that's pretty much it.